Hi everybody, welcome to Saturdays with the Steffens. This is my husband Jay and I'm
Hello.
Natalie.
Hi.
And we're going to be doing it's going to be a little bit different this time. So my husband's going to give some educational tips, and as he gives those tips, I'm actually going to apply it into talking about our CBD oils. So I'm really excited because I'm just going to tell you a little bit of why we actually started using CBD oil, and that was because our son was vaccine injured back at 15 months. Well, it was 15 months, and then by 18 months he regressed. So me knowing about the westernized medical system, I knew that my son was just going to be getting sicker. All my children, would be getting sicker if I allowed them to continue to go to this type of medical care, which it's not medical care, but this is what we're taught to think that's medical care. So I decided to pull them out of all of pediatrics, all of the Western medical industry, and we decided to go all natural. So I started researching a whole bunch of different remedies on how we can actually repair our body, what our body actually needs, the tools in order to just, feed itself and be able to maintain the health of a body. And also I had to actually nurse my son back to health because his health was destroyed through vaccinations. So in this process, I found CBD oil and I started researching it for about 3.5 years. And I tried several different brands. They did not work. I spent about $1,200. So learning it the hard way and spending all that money and not having where any company was offering a money back guarantee if it just did not work on you or your child or your loved one, it was really hard on me. So I pretty much thought that CBD oil was a fraud. It wasn't something that worked. I couldn't find anything that worked. It cost me a lot of money. And I dove in and I spent a lot of time doing that. So researching it out. So when I came across this CBD oil, I was so excited because I saw results in my son the very, very first time we took it. And we're now we're right about our 9th month of entering into it. So this is why I started doing it, because of my son and seeing the results that happened to my son. And then as I was giving him his serving size, I was taking it the whole time, and I started experiencing things inside my system and inside my lifestyle that I never thought would change, and they actually changed. So I have a testimony, my son has a testimony, and we owe every single thing to this CBD oil because this has been one of the best remedies that has ever came into our household in a holistic manner, all natural, that actually showed improvement the first day, and the longer you take it, the better it was getting for myself and my son. So this is why I always talk about it, I share about it, because I want every single child to have the same opportunity as my son had, where I tried it on him and he actually became so much better. And also for any parent that's dealing with stuff that they don't even have to deal with because we have this natural superfood, I'm sharing that with them because I know I'm not the only person that had, anxiousness that was through the roof, that I never could sleep at night, that I was having sad thoughts, that I was, held in bondage in my house because I didn't want to enter out into the world because I didn't have that kind of, security and the calmness that I should be having where I can enjoy life. So this is the reason why we share about it. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. Thank you, Marcia. Thank you, Lou. Thank you guys. It's a Saturday night. It's 9 o'clock. We're going to do this every single Saturday because the kids actually will go down to bed. They're done with dinner, and it's a perfect time for our family to get on here and then talk about what we're passionate about and what we love. So you can explain what we're going to do this time.
Well, Natalie's been asking me, to help out, or what advice I could give as far as marketing tips for HempWorks for those of you that are distributors you're kind of in the, I guess, running your own small business, whatever it may be. So I wanted to give some tips to you guys. Natalie's going to model for us tonight, so I'm going to go through each step, and then she will do the step after I go through it with you guys.
I'm not modeling.
Well,
I'm modeling products.
You're modeling. You're modeling for us tonight. Okay. So the first thing that I came up with that really help out, and this is for really any business, but I think it'll help with what you guys do throughout the week. I hear bits and pieces about it from Natalie throughout the week, and Saturdays like my day that I can kind of talk with her and find out what's going on. So the first thing that I came up with is labeling is not a bad thing. A lot of people in marketing, especially in business and things, are scared to label people. For instance, they're scared to talk about type 1 diabetes. They're scared to talk about autism and other things that people go through. Arthritis, anxiety, you name it. People are scared to mention those things. But it's not a bad thing. When you're talking about HempWorks, you can talk about themes and issues and things that you've experienced as far as some of the people that have come to you, some of the things that they've shared with you. And if you share some of these things, you share some of these labels out there, then people will know that the product might benefit them. One thing that you need to be careful of when you are labeling and you're talking about things, different types of illnesses and things out there is just be relevant, stick with the facts, and go back to the product. So I'm going to let you talk about some themes or some common things that you're hearing out there as far as what people are telling you and how they use HempWorks every day.
Okay, so like basically testimonies.
Yeah, testimonies,
okay.
Things that are people.
So we're going to break this down to layman's terms because some things that he may say may not be exactly the verbiage that we hear all the time. So we'll break it down into layman's terms, and I'll ask questions because if he goes over my head, I'm gonna. Who else is gonna understand it either?
Right.
So with HempWorks or with the CBD oil that we use, since I signed up because it was so darn amazing that I was going to share this no matter what with people, I figured if I can share this, this could come back and financially bless me by sharing this. So I had to think about it for my family too, if you think about it that way. The products work. I stand 100% behind it. I am always going to share this because people need to know there is other alternatives out there besides pharmaceutical prescription drugs. So that is my whole theme. Not my theme, but that is my desire. If I can get anybody off of pharmaceutical drugs or steer them away from even wanting to go down that direction, I am going to be the happiest person ever because I know those are addicting, they're toxic, and they can really mess up your mind, and people need to research what is going to happen long term.
So what are some of the issues? Why would somebody want to use HempWorks CBD oil? What are some of the issues? What are the things that people are experiencing out there?
So I'll tell a couple of testimonies I get all the time. I cannot use medical terms because we cannot claim that this heals, cures, or prevents anything because that's, the FDA does not want us to say anything. So we never use medical terms. So I'm going to say vaccine injured. I'm going to say really painful headaches and stuff like that. So just understand why I'm coming through.
Is that a common theme that you're seeing, vaccine injury out there among all these people that are coming to you and talking with you every day?
The majority of my clientele, and they're my friends, they're not even clientele, but just so you understand, they are parents that have severely vaccine injured children, and they're so distraught. They're so to the point that even if they don't want to, pharmaceutical drugs are now starting to be like, is this the only thing I can do because I'm in such a bad position? I don't know what to do anymore. I've tried everything, and I've heard that so many times, and I've been like that too. I can completely relate to it. I hear this all the time, and the incredible thing about it is it works. I'm getting testimonies back where people are saying, my child could not sit still anywhere I went. They couldn't focus when they're with the one-on-one. If they happen to go to a public school, they're in fear that the public school's not going to take them, or they're going to tell them they have to have their child medicated up. I don't know if that's something legal or not, but they're going to suggest things because the child is not where they can be able to help them, supposedly, that way. So that's something I hear people all the time, that the parents are dealing with really severe headaches. They have really bad headaches all the
So
time, and it's crippling.
not just the children are experiencing things, but parents with children that have disabilities, they too are experiencing some of these things. You're talking about headaches, anxieties, and things that CBD oil can help
anxiousness.
with.
There are a lot, there's a lot of parents that they're exactly like me. Okay, and this happens a lot with when you have a vaccine in your child. You get depressed. You get sad thoughts. You get so heartbroken because you're watching your child, you watched what happened to him,
Right.
and now you are taking this probably, maybe a 2-year-old child who accomplished everything, all of a sudden got vaccine injured and now went back to an infant state. And now you're starting all over again. And does it by, 2 more years, do they gain everything? Not always. Our son is 9 years old, and look, he's gained and gained and gained.
Right.
But is he on a 9-year-old level? Absolutely not. He's still
Right.
nonverbal. He's still in diapers. So that's really hard for a parent to come to the terms of, where's my son or my daughter going to be in 5 more years from now?
And another issue that I can think of, we're talking about themes and issues, is just the financial burden that it causes on families as well. And people
And that's
trying all these
depressing too.
Right, it is depressing, and these people trying product after product that doesn't work. So what can you say about HempWorks? I mean, is it affordable for families?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I'll tell you that I was spending $175 to $200 a bottle on something
Right.
that gave my son about this much relief. And because I didn't know better, and I just thought this much relief is better than no relief, I actually thought it worked. And till 6 months went down the line, and I'm like, well, this is a bunch of crud because he's not getting any better, and that tiny little bit of relief is breaking my wallet. So,
Yeah.
and I tried and tried all different
so you can
types
shell
of
out
products.
all kinds of money on products
Yes.
that don't work.
Right.
So that was the first step. Natalie, you did a great job for us. She talked about themes and issues out there. Some of the things that we talked about is, I heard you mention kids that can't sit still. We talked about the financial burden. We talked about parents and some of the things that they're experiencing, seeing that their loved ones that share these disabilities and things out there. So that can be really stressful too. Any other themes or issues that you can think of?
There's a lot of them. Well, like I said, for people that cannot sleep, I could not sleep. I used to literally lay in my bed. My mind would go back and forth. Everybody else would be asleep. It would make me even sad because I was the only person up in the middle of the night, and I could not sleep. And I was sitting there worrying about stuff I should have never been worrying about. And it rolled into my everyday life. Lack
Right.
of sleep ends up being very crabby. You end up not being a very good wife and not very good mom. So, there's a lot of things people are telling me about, they have pain. They have pain out throughout their body. And
Right.
it's excruciating. It hurt, it hinders them from being able to do a lot of stuff. They're not suffering in pain anymore. So there's so many things. People are having blood sugar level problems. Their blood sugar is getting regulated by taking CBD oil consistently.
And you mentioned something very important there. These people that are continuing to have problems, the common theme too is the pharmaceutical drugs and also the vaccines that's related with all this or associated in some kind of way. Am I correct?
Right. And the
Okay.
side effects are really bad, and
Okay.
the addiction is really bad. And with CBD oil, you cannot get addicted. It is non-addicting. People actually use it to wean off of other addicting pharmaceutical
Right.
drugs because you can actually take it and it's non-addicting. You have no withdrawals, and it actually calms their
Wow.
body down so that they're not going through
I mean,
that
and that's
panic
awesome because
attack.
with if you get prescribed something, a lot of times there's side effects, there's withdrawals and things, and you have to slowly wean yourself off this medication. As with CBD oil, it's not the same. The effects are not the same. There are no side effects. Am I correct?
There's no side effect. There's no negative side effects, and there's no toxicity level.
Wow.
So you can take as much as you want. Some people only need 5 drops. Some people need 10 drops. Some people need 3 droppers, 3 full droppers. That does not mean anybody is better than one another. It just means you have to go according to your body type.
Right.
This is not a drug, So we cannot tell you everybody takes one same serving like they do. You have to go according to your body and how deficient it is in your endocannabinoid system.
Exactly.
With the different cannabinoids in there.
Well, very good, Natalie. We talked about themes and issues, so that's step one. Talk, reoccurring themes, issues that you're seeing out there. So step two is, so today let's talk about the benefit of using CBD oil. You've already kind of hit on that, but I want you to go over some other benefits, things that you have not shared with us, things maybe that I haven't listened to you about in the past, and maybe that I can learn along with other folks watching today. So what are the benefits of taking it? And before she gets started, one of the things that I want to talk about for those of you that are actually, you're with HempWorks, don't compare with other markets. Just talk about the benefits of what HempWorks does. And that's what we're going to do today. So talk about the benefits of CBD oil with HempWorks.
Well, we kind of touched over, everybody has an endocannabinoid system, and they discovered this about 30 years ago. Not that many people know about it because they don't teach this in school, they don't teach this in college, they don't teach this kind of stuff because it's such an important, vital system in our body that brings everything back into alignment, and it brings it into homeostasis. When your body's in homeostasis, that means all of your systems are regulating together and they're working together as a team, and your body now is coming from, if it's too high in a certain area or too low in a certain area, it is going to bring it back. Another thing with CBD oil, which is completely awesome, is that it is a slow detoxification. So
Right.
if you have any kind of chemicals embedded into your system, if you have any kind of bacteria, if you have anything foreign that's in the body, it will slowly, even parasites, it will slowly detox that through your system.
Right.
And it'll clear out your system.
So you mentioned CBDs and isolate. What is it? What does that exactly mean when you say CBD?
Yeah. Well, do you want me
Yeah.
to go through the oils or?
Well, yeah. Let's kind of go through the benefits and go through some of the oils.
Okay.
I'm seeing over here some of the strengths are what. What's the levels and what's the
Okay,
lowest
well,
end?
Okay, I'm going to finish this other part.
Okay.
And the awesome thing about CBD oil is that your system does not get tolerant of it and then it doesn't work anymore. That's the incredible thing. It does not bind with our receptors, so where you would actually build up a tolerance, and that's a wonderful thing. So they say that you start off slow, and so that you can find out where your perfect spot is, how many drops that you're actually going to be taking. So start out slow, and when you hit that perfect level of whatever symptoms that you have in your body that were agitating you and that you're trying to get rid of, that's where you're going to stop, is where you feel like you're at your perfect medium level. So you stop at that level, and then what you do is, as time goes on, you can actually, as your body goes into homeostasis, you can actually only need less. So you may say, oh my gosh, at one time I took 2 full droppers, or let's say 3 full droppers. That's where I'm at right now. So I take 3 full droppers a day, and you can, as time goes on, you can say, oh wow, well I think I only need 2 full droppers, and then you could actually go down to, wait, I think I only need 5 drops 3 times a day. So you
Right.
just never know, but the longer you use it, it actually, as your body's getting better and repairing itself, you will need it less. But it is something that you're going to want to use for, for life, because it's like taking vitamins. You want to use it for life, and when you use it continuously, you're going to have long-term health, and that's what your goal is. You want to
Right.
keep and maintain your long-term health.
And that's one of the things. That's your whole goal, is to make sure people are healthy
Right.
and they have a good quality of life.
Right.
What are some of the flavors that this comes in, as far as oils and things? Different
Okay, we
flavors?
just got a new flavor, and I have to say that's probably my favorite. Okay, I'm going to show you. He was talking about the different strengths. We have a 500 milligram strength, and we also have a 750 milligram strength. So the 500, this actually, you can get all of them except for the isolate. I'll talk about the isolate in a second, but you can get the 500, the 750 in natural flavor, in peppermint flavor, and cinnamon. And cinnamon is the ultimate best. I'm actually drinking the CBD coffee right now because it's so delicious, and I'm actually addicted to it. And like I said, it makes my head, like my mind, clear, but it does not make me nervous. So I'll be okay to go to bed because it won't make me feel nervous and shaky like I used to feel on caffeine, where I actually weaned myself off for about a year. About a year ago, I weaned myself off for good, but now I'm back. But anyways, I'll show you what it looks like, because you want to have a good CBD oil, and you're going to know a good CBD oil by the ingredients and also by the color. So I wanted to see if you could see this. Or, hold on.
You got to go down a little bit.
There it is.
There it is.
See how, I don't want to, hold on. I want to get that drop off, but I can't see. Oh, there you go. Do you see how green it is? That's how wonderful it is. And if you did 5 drops under the tongue, this is what it's like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would do that twice a day when you start off on it. And actually, there is 20 drops is one serving size in this, and there is 50 of 20 drops in here. You have 1,000 drops.
Last a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it could last from 1 month to 3 months. 3 months, depending on how much you need. And there's approximately 1,000 drops in here. So we have the natural flavor. We have this is the cinnamon. Oh my gosh, if you guys could just smell it, this tastes just like when you were younger and you chewed on the big red gum. That's what it tastes like, or it tastes like one of those little red hot candies that you used to suck on. And you're going to want to swallow it, but you want to try to hold it under your tongue for at least 1 to 2 minutes so that it can absorb through your glands and get into your bloodstream. But this is so good, I can't help but swallow it. I have to make myself not to swallow it. But if you smell it, it smells so incredible. And then we've got the peppermint flavor, which peppermint acts like a stimulant on a lot of people, which will give you that energy, but it will not give you a nervous energy. So peppermint is really great, but if you have any kind of hyperactivity, a racing mind, or anxiousness, and you can't sleep, I would probably say do not take the peppermint, because with me, I cannot sleep on it. Go to the cinnamon or go to the natural flavor.
Peppermint during the day and then cinnamon.
Yeah, so like
night.
if you feel lethargic during the day, or you feel like you want your second wind, take the peppermint. A lot of people take it in the morning. A lot of people take it in the afternoon, and then they go to natural at the evening time, or now you can do your cinnamon at night.
All right. Well, excellent right there. And any other benefits that you want to talk about that we missed out on? What about that? Can you hit on the isolate real quick? Why some people would use that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
The isolate. Okay. When you do the isolate, it's the white cap. That's how they're gonna. It's easy, so you do not make a mistake when you're ordering. They made a white cap on it. So the isolate is going to be strict cannabidiol. So that means no THC and no phytocannabinoids. It is going to only be one strand, and that is going to be the main repairing compound that's within the industrialized hemp plant, and it's cannabidiol. So this is great for firefighters, this is great for police officers, for teachers, anybody that has a state job or has a government job. And the isolate is CO2 extracted. It's in a crystallization form, but it's 99% all isolate, okay?
Good.
And then it has a tiny little bit of carrier oil.
So we started out, and Natalie, you know, as we started, she was telling a story, she was sharing testimony, benefits, themes. She didn't compare with other brands, as you saw. Step 3, which I was going to talk about tonight, was KISS. Keep it simple and short. She's done that for us. She's used props. That was some other advice I was going to give. I mean, you know, talking about her product, showing her product. Are there any other products that we missed that we could have showed? Maybe your coffee, for those of them.
You guys, we have pet oil. So I just wanted,
okay.
our dog is
Yes.
on this, and he did painkillers after he had that 4-pound tumor taken out of his stomach. He was on painkillers for 2 days. And then I took this and started giving it to him after, and he has never had to go back to any of that, because when I thought about him, I'm like, I don't know if painkillers are addicted to dogs or what. They can get addicted to it, or do they go through any kind of weird feelings or something? So I wanted to cut him straight off the painkillers as quick as I could.
So what does this have in it for pets?
This is our 250 strength and one full dropper, which is approximately 20 drops, is going to have 5 milligrams of regular CBD. It's full spectrum. It's just like the human type, but this is in bacon flavor to actually draw the dogs in.
So you just put it on his food and he eats it up?
Some people, my dog, he's wearing a cone. I can't get it into his mouth. So I am putting the dropper all over his food. So that's how he's doing it. He's actually consuming it.
Right.
So, yes, we do have pet oil. He's going to be bumped up to the 500 once he's, I have a couple bottles of this and I don't want to waste it. I'm just giving him extra. But he is a very big dog, so he can go up to the 500 to use it also.
I mean, he's older too, and it helps him out
and
a lot.
do natural flavor only if you go up to the 500, because peppermint, I mean, I know that's not good for animals' tummies and stuff, so you don't want to do peppermint. Cinnamon might be a little bit too hot on their tongue, because cinnamon is one of my favorite flavors now. I'm going to have to say, I'm all about natural flavor, but this cinnamon came in and I was just like, whoa, dessert in a bottle. I mean, it's really good, and I mean, absolutely love it. But it's a little bit hot. Like, I gave it to my youngest daughter who's 5, and she's like, oh, Mommy, it burns. But it tastes so good. She's never had candy like the Red Hots or anything like that, so she doesn't get it. But for a dog, I mean, don't do cinnamon. I wouldn't do that. I think it's not good for their tummy either. Who knows? But I have a couple little facts that I can throw out. What else do we need to do?
That was pretty much it. We talked about, theme, sharing testimony. You talked about the benefits. You kept it short and simple. Remember the KISS method. And then finally, the last thing that you need to remember is your brand is health. I mean, if you notice tonight, Natalie was strictly talking about the health. I was doing the least amount of talking. I was just asking the questions like I was a host or whatever. And that's pretty much it. The only thing that I would suggest is, and I hope you do this tonight, leave a place where people can ask questions. Always have a place where people can go and they can ask you, whether it's private message or even your own personal website. So if you want to wrap it up tonight and kind of finish up.
Okay, so just to let you know, with our CBD oils, they're the ratio, because people do ask what's the ratio of your oils. So the ratio for this is going to be 29:1. So 29 is considered with how much CBD is in it, and then 1 is going to be for a full spectrum. It's going to be how much of it has THC in it. So it's a 29:1 ratio on it. I want to make sure I tell you everything. So our CBD is suspended in cold pressed hemp seed oil. So we don't go away from the plant. So we're not going to be adding coconut oil. We're not going to be adding olive oil. We're not going to be adding grapeseed oil. We're not going to be doing something, these are all wonderful oils, but we're not going to pull something that is completely foreign to the plant and say, this is what your oil is not 100% plant, because we went ahead and added something that maybe have nuts or this and that into it, which also limits people that may have allergies to it. But we wanted to give you the full profile of the plant, and we didn't want to take it out of its natural form. So that's why we have the hemp oil with it, and also the CBD with it, and all the phytocannabinoids also in there. That's really, really important that we did that. Everything with our company is from American seed to cell to bottle. Everything is done in America, okay? And that was very important to me to know where is the industrialized hemp being grown.
Kentucky?
Yeah, it's in Winchester, Kentucky, but it's really important to know where these farms are being grown at, because you want the most purest that there is. So you want to have it organic, you want to have it non-GMO, you want to make sure that it's pesticide free, it's herbicide free. You want to make sure there's no heavy metals. Like I've said before, the hemp plant is a detoxer. It's going to detox the soil also. So if there's any kind of chemicals and heavy metals inside of the soil, it is going to suck it up into the plant. And if you do not have a certification of analysis showing that this is a pure plant, you could be putting garbage right back into your body. You can be putting lead in your body. You can
and that's really scary, especially where there's so many people out there that are now starting to sell CBD oil. You have no clue where some of that stuff's coming from. And with HempWorks, you know that it's right here, made in the USA. I mean, it's not that far from us where we are here in Tennessee. So
no, it's not.
No.
You want to make sure there's no additives. You want to make sure that there's no bleaching. A lot of these places, when they ship them from overseas, internationally into the United States, their products are bleached out. You want to make sure it's CO2 extracted. So when it says in a bottle too, when it says that it's 500 milligrams of CBD in here, that means that it is true to that number. It is true that it is 500 milligrams, and then the rest of it is going to be filled up with the hemp seed oil. So you're not getting something that was originally 500 and then they added all these ingredients which actually made that you're not getting 500 in your bottle or 1,000 in your bottle or 2,000, whatever number that they want to come up with. But this is true CBD, 500 milligrams in this bottle. And it's the same thing with the 750. It is true. You get a full 750 of CBD in that bottle, and it's 1 ounce, which is 30 milliliters in every single bottle. So, and the hemp seed oil is so incredible for you. It has your omegas in there. So you've got your omegas 3, your omega 9s, and it also has fatty acids in it. It's just another healthy thing that we need to get into our system. So I think that's about it. We'll wrap it up on, if I said it was a 30-day money-back guarantee, just know that too. If I didn't already say that, that is extremely important. That means the company stands behind their products because their products are good. And if they don't have a money-back guarantee, that's because they probably know everybody would be returning it and they don't want to lose all that money. But we have less than 1% of people to return their products.
How can people reach you? How can people get in touch with you?
You can reach me through private messaging me through Facebook. And you can also say, hey, Natalie, what's your phone number? I want to call you. I mean, I'm fine with that. Or, hey, Natalie, can you call me? I will definitely, that's my job. I definitely will do that for you because I care about you. And
like a personal contact there. So,
right. I mean, that's why I'm sharing it. If I'm going to share a little bit of it, I might as well share everything with you.
Yeah, because you're not just reaching out to a website. You're actually talking to somebody who knows about the product. All right, then. Well, I guess that wraps things up tonight.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. God bless you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the Saturday night. We'll be back again next Saturday with, we have so many different products, so I'm going to pick another product and go into that too.
Right.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Cheers. God bless you. You guys have a wonderful night. Take care. Bye.
Bye.